WreckIt Ralph as fast as you can. You know you can do it with your colossal hands. I'll wreck it, I'll fix it, You fixed it! So stupid. Hi, I'm Andre and I'm a black nerd. So Disney was super kind enough to send me WreckIt Ralph on 3D Blu-ray, DVD, digital copy, brain-infused version of it in my head and injected into my bloodstream. I eat it, I sleep it, I even have WreckIt Ralph duties. Hero's duty. And it has special features. It comes with the Pac-Man short that played before it, fake commercials of the games that are in the movie. Even when you pause this thing, Chris Hardwick pops up and starts giving you a bunch of video game references that are in the movie. Hi Nerdist, welcome to my pause button. You know what special feature WreckIt Ralph has that it doesn't tell you about? The feature to make you miss arcades. Seriously, every single time I watch this movie, I'm like, why did the arcades die? I want them back. I want some quarters, I want some tokens. This is the only arcade they have, this little Pac-Man thing. It's not even really a game, it's a freaking mint dispenser. And it's sad too because some arcade games we don't have home versions of. They either never released or they have like a very dumbed down, trimmed down, or completely alternate version of the same game. So there's no way to play those games now. Unless of course you use MAME and ROMs, but we know absolutely nothing about that. Just like I knew nothing about Napster in 2000. So that means I want some arcade cabinets to add to my collection. Here are the top 5 arcade cabinets that I want to have, just so I can play these games again. Number 5! Since we're already talking about WreckIt Ralph, I'm just gonna say it. I want a Fix-It Felix Jr. arcade cabinet. I saw it at D23 and I saw it at E3 to promote WreckIt Ralph. They actually made a working arcade cabinet of Fix-It Felix Jr. And when the movie came out in theaters, even some movie theaters had it in their lobby. But now the movie's on Blu-ray, it's like, well, what happened to those cabinets? Where'd they go? Are they in the Disney vault? Did you put the arcade cabinets in the Disney vault next to your stack of Song of the Souths? I guess maybe when the sequel comes out you can pull those out again, but until then, put them somewhere like here. Think about it, Disney. Every single time I make a video, you would have an advertisement for WreckIt Ralph if I had a Fix-It Felix cabinet right there. I'm just saying. That's the Disney vault. This is Disney Infinity. Number 4! Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. I used to love playing Michael Jackson's Moonwalker at the arcades. It was so much fun. You get to hear that music. And you run around shooting things, saving kids. Bubbles the chimp would touch you and he turned into a big robot. But when Moonwalker came out on the Sega Genesis, it wasn't the exact same game. It was side-scroller. You had to open a bunch of doors. It wasn't the same experience as the arcade version. Plus the arcade version, you can have 2 players. You can have a white Michael and a red Michael. You couldn't have a black Michael. So I would love that. I would love to have Michael Jackson's Moonwalker in my collection. It's probably a lot more expensive now that Michael Jackson's dead. Number 3, Pac-Land. No, not Pac-Man. PacLand. PacLand was a Pac-Man side-scrolling platformer that actually came out before Super Mario Brothers. What? You were Pac-Man, you had this little fairy in your hat. That's not a reference or innuendo to anything. And you would walk across town so you can let the fairy free. Okay, this is... But the entire time, ghost monsters are trying to stop you using contraptions. You got ghost monsters on pogo sticks, ghost monsters in cars, ghost monsters in flying saucers. You even had ghost monsters in planes, and they would drop little baby ghost monsters on you to try to get you. And the animations of the ghost monsters in Pac-Man were very reminiscent to the cartoon. They even had Sue in it. And they even had the Pac-Man cartoon theme song as the theme of the video game. And that is why I'm single. PacLand is actually very hard to come by, which is really weird because every week Namco releases like a museum arcade collection of all of their games. You always get Pac-Man and Galaga and Dig Dug and Rally X, but they never add PacLand in there. The only way to get PacLand is you have to get like a TurboGrafx 16 or a crappy version on the NES, Commodore 64. Or if you have the first PlayStation, you could find Namco Museum Arcade Volume 4. Forget that nonsense. Just give me the PacLand cabinet. Solves all the problems. Plus the Pac-Land cabinet, you ain't gotta use a joystick. They actually have a left button and a right button. You just hold it down and that's how Pac-Man moved. Classic. Number 2, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. This is actually a hard game to come by. The only way to get Turtles in Time the original way is you have to get Ninja Turtles 3 GameCube, and it has it as an unlockable feature. Of course you have the Super Nintendo version, but you only play that with 2 players. Or you can get the reshelled version on the Xbox Live Arcade. But I want none of that. I want the original Turtles in Time on its arcade cabinet, 4-player action, cowabunga! And their title sequence plays Pizza Power from the Coming Out of Their Shells album. Growing up in the glass bowl, convenience lizards and tadpoles, holler into your mind that there's something better than this. A lettuce leaf and a carrot, maybe a seed from a parrot. Believe me when I tell you the word gourmet just don't exist. But pizza Pizza power, a flying salsa food delight. Pizza power, oh, that's what makes us feel alright. And that is why I'm single. And the #1 video game arcade cabinet that I want to own is... Take a cue from the queue. Hey, it's Cubert. Hey there, Cubert. You and WreckIt Ralph. You got movies. You're not a SAG actor. I actually used to play Cubert on the NES and hated it because Cubert moves diagonally, but the NES controller was up, down, left, right. Left was like down, left, but then down was like down, right, and up was like up, left, and right was like upright, upright. Or you could have it set where you had to press left and down at the same time to go one way and right and down the other. It was terrible. But the Cubert arcade version is perfect. It's a joystick that was specifically made for that game. It goes in diagonal direction, spot on, no problems. Not to mention it's a very colorful arcade cabinet. That yellow and the blocks and orange of Cubert and green and Forsaken Sam and Coily big and purple. Coily is a big reason to own the arcade cabinet too, because when Coily falls off of the pyramid and goes like, it makes this little sound, ka-kunk, and that sound is not actually a sound effect in the game. It's actually a little part in the machine that actually goes kunk-kunk. You can't get that on your Xbox Live. So forget your ports. I want Cubert the way it should be played on a big, giant arcade cabinet sitting right here that I gotta put quarters in and hear that. That's how I want my Cubert. No exceptions. Now I want to hear from you. If you could own any arcade cabinet, what would it be? And not just the game from the arcade cabinet. I'm talking about the entire giant arcade cabinet in your living room, making your parents or girlfriend or boyfriend mad at you. Leave a comment or a video response. And because I love you, if you're subscribed to my channel and you leave a comment or video response to this video, one of you will win a copy of WreckIt Ralph on the Blu-ray DVD. Disney is giving me one of these to give to you as a present. So leave your comment and you might win. Be sure to like and favorite this video and tickle that subscribe button. I love you like a play cousin. I'm Addy 5000. Chain chomp. Wah 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 wah. Yo.